How's the season been for the Nashville Kats?
Well, the season is continuing. It's ongoing. So we're building a franchise here, building a league, actually. So it's been developmental. Great kids, great players, young players, teaching everybody how to play this game from the top down to the players. And it's been a good year so far. We've had some really good games, some challenging games, but it's been arena football, so it's been good.
What's going great for your team? What are some of your weaknesses, your strengths?
I think for us, it's always been our depth. We're very good up front, both sides of the ball, our offensive, defensive lines. I think you always build your team inside out. We've starting to grow our wide receiver core. So every week we're getting better in our personnel. I think that's the biggest part. But we've had a solid group of players. We have a good base of 18 players that we've pretty much built around. And our depth right now is our best part of our team.
And how's the fan base been here in Nashville?
It's been awesome to be back with the Cats as a startup. It's been gone since I coached here. 2007 was the last year the Cats had an arena football team. To be back in part of the third go around, it's been pretty cool. But a lot of support, and this thing's building too. So we've had a game out in Clarksville last week. We've had two here, and it's been great.
So you've been around the Arena Football League for quite some time. Talk to us about your background, how you got started with arena football to where you are now.
Well, it just kind of happened. I never anticipated being in the Arena Football League. I started out in college at Austin Peay State University and University of Massachusetts. Had an opportunity to go over work under the NFL Europe guideline, and one of my college teammates, roommates, one of my best friends, Pat Sperduto, happened to be the head coach of the Nashville Kats on the second time they were here back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and opportunity opened up for me to get into arena football back then, and I took it and kind of went from there. And the league went away, and I had 15 good years, most of them as a head coach, won two championships, and very honored to be back here with the Cats and try the third time here with the team.
So you mentioned a little bit earlier that you were involved with the league and then it folded. At that time, was that like new to you? Like what was going through your mind at the time when the league shut down?
That's a heavy question. So not much really. I think it kind of evolved. It hit a high point here. I was here during the NFL years when most of the teams were NFL owned, and we had a CBA and an NFLPA, and we had TV sponsors, and the great Eli Gold was doing the NBC games, and I was here during the high point. So after that, the NFL owners left. The league started going downhill. I think it was just kind of expected that eventually it would go away, and it did. So not a big surprise there. So and just very fortunate that it's back now.
All right. And when you heard that it was coming back after a 5-year hiatus, how did they approach you, and what was your reaction?
I was looking forward to just watching it, so I had no intention of coming back in. It just kind of happened. Coach Fisher, Jeff got involved here with the Cats, and a few phone calls were made to me, outside people, and then Jeff and I connected, and he was interested and asked if I would be interested, and I got to meet some of the people that were going to get involved, and had the opportunity to bring a lot of colleagues, players, coaches that I've worked with in the past. Nashville's my home, so it just kind of worked out. I know I really didn't have intention of coming back into it, but with the people involved, especially Jeff, it kind of made it exciting, and we're here now, and we're building something pretty cool.
Yeah, what's it like working with Jeff Fisher and all the staff that you have with Nashville?
It's been great. The wealth of knowledge he has of building NFL teams from the ground up. He's moved 2 or 3 NFL franchises, and with my experience in the Arena Football League and our network here, we all have our own networks, and everybody in the organization brings something different. And it's top class. Top shelf people, from media to operations to business to sponsorship to coaching. And to Jeff. So I think just working with a great stable of people has been phenomenal.
And, I think when it comes to arena football, I think what makes it different or makes it stand out is the players coming to arena football to get to that next level, right? Get to NFL, CFL. As a coach, how do you help them get to that next level?
Well, yeah, so that's a great question. It's a blend, right? You have guys that are on the verge of going up, and guys maybe coming down, and some guys that don't have a chance, right? And that's the uniqueness of arena football. It's a different – the roster's blended. It's like 3 levels of type of players. For us, even when I started way back in the early 2000s, it was always important for us to have NFL or above level players. Does that make sense? So we wanted to bring guys that we know weren't going to stay here, and we always did that. Generally my roster would have anywhere from 7 to 10 players leave from the time we started the season to the end. This year we had 3. We lost 3 players to the NFL, CFL, and that's a tribute to our scouting and the type of players that want to come play for us. So I think, for us, that's part of the sell. If you want to play for us, we want to help you move on. We'll help you with our network, with mine, Coach Shackelford's, Coach Fisher's. We have a tremendous amount of resources here to help players who actually have the ability to move on. And so for us, that's our goal, is to get players that will leave here, at the same time help us bring more good players.
When the players get to that next level, how does that make you feel to know?
That's awesome, man. It's so proud of these guys. Blaine Hoover was the last one to go right before our last game. The day before our last game, we got a call from the 49ers, and so excited for him. Put us in a little bit of a jam, but so excited these guys can do it. They work so hard to get to that level, and they come here, they travel here, they put in the time here, and it's not a lot of money. And for seeing opportunity for these guys, it's just great.
Yeah. As someone, I consider you a veteran, and when it comes in as far as the Arena Football League space, how have you seen Arena Football League change just over the years, whether it's good or bad?
It's been just through a cycle, man. I was on the outside looking in. I observed it. Coach Larry Koharic, Tim Markham, all the legends. I knew those guys way back when I was in college coaching, and I observed the game. A lot of my former teammates were playing in it. So I saw it build up from basically a parking lot league where guys would get dressed in the parking lot, and all the way up towards NFL owned and CBA and NBC Network, until on the decline. And now I think we're to go back a third time and have the opportunity to be part of a group that tries to bring it back up to the highest peak is pretty cool. So that's what we're looking to do here.
Right. And considering how this season started so far, what was your reaction when you started to see things kind of unfold day after day?
It's been nonstop. So it's a lot, I don't think we've had a chance to breathe yet and have a view of it. Everybody's just working so hard, trying to do so many things. Everybody's wearing many hats. And I think the goal is just get through this year and build a strong base for the league and for our organization, but really put a staple in the ground and just build off it, right? And I think that's all we're right now. Everybody's just working so hard to build this thing, and we have a chance to step back and see. I think it's going to be pretty cool what everybody's done to build this league.
What do you think the league needs to make sure it stays around for the next 10, 20, 30 years?
I think you have to have good people involved, really experienced people, and you have to have investors. Bottom line, investors, media. There's a process. There's going to be some growing pains. There always is in minor league football. But just in my experience, it's the people involved. You have to have good business people, good football people, good investors, and good workers and good players. I think it's a collection of a different variety of types of people and levels of experience.
Jeff Fisher appointed as interim commissioner. What was it? I can see you smiling already.
So yeah, it's just funny. It's just the commish, right? So it's pretty cool. You couldn't ask for a better guy. I think the league in itself is very fortunate to have that happen. I think if there's a true chance to grow this thing and get through this year and keep building, it's going to be with Jeff's leadership at that position. So it's awesome for everybody.
Do you think he can turn this around?
I think so, absolutely, without a doubt.